So let's begin. Now we will be talking about evaluating function. So when we say evaluating function, it is the process of determining the value of the function at the number assigned to a given variable. So basically, we are assigning a variable to x. Usually, when we talk about functions, usually yung input natin or yung independent variable natin is x. So when we evaluate function, we assign a value to x and we want to know what's the value of the given function at that assigned value. And just like in evaluating algebraic expressions, to evaluate functions, what we need to do is to replace each letter in the expression with the assigned value and perform the operations in the expression using the correct order of operations. So we will be using PEMDAS as well as rules in operating integers. And to evaluate a piecewise function at the given value of x, we need to determine the domain of interval of the function at the given value of x and use the corresponding function or formula to that certain interval. Later on, we will be having some examples on how to evaluate piecewise function. Okay, so let's try solving this example with the function given f of x is equal to 3 minus 2x. And let us try to get the value or evaluate the function at x is equal to 2. So first we have to replace all the variables in the function or papalitan natin lahat ng x na nasa function. And we will substitute with the given value of x, which is 2. So we'll have f of 2 is equal to 3 minus 2 times 2. And now that we've replaced or substituted the value of x, we can now simplify this function or this equation. So let us first simplify this by following PEMDAS, those terms involving products. Okay, so we have negative 2 times 2 is 4. So 3 minus 4. And then we simplify 3 minus 4 is equal to negative 1. Therefore, f of 2 is equal to negative 1. Now, for the second value, x equals negative 1/2. Again, we need to substitute for the value of x or papalitan natin lahat ng x with the assigned value, which is negative 1/2. So we'll have f of negative 1/2 is equal to 3 minus 2 times negative 1/2. Now, by simplifying, as you can see here, we have negative 2 times negative 1/2. So we can cancel. What you can do is you can multiply negative 2 times 1, which is negative 2 divided by negative 2, or simply cancel out the factors. Since we have a multiplier 2 here, and in the denominator we can also get negative 2. Then by cancellation, ang matitira na lang is 1. And 1 divided by 1 is simply 1. So 3 minus 1. Then f of negative 1/2 is equal to 3 minus 1 or 2. Okay, so now let's have another example. Given f of x is equal to 2x cubed minus 4x plus 1, and let us evaluate at x is equal to negative 1. Again, the first thing that you need to do is to change or to replace all the variables with the given value negative 1. So by substitution, we'll have f of negative 1 is equal to 2 times negative 1 cube minus 4 times negative 1 plus 1. And then by following again the PEMDAS rule, we need to simplify this. So first, simplify muna natin yung may exponent. So this one. Negative 1 cube, when we have an exponent, it means we need to multiply the base, which in this case is negative 1 3 times by itself. So that is negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1, which gives you negative 1 as well. So 2 times negative 1, and negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4 by following rules of multiplying integers, plus 4 and plus 1. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 4 plus 1. And then we simplify this. Negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2 and plus 1 is 3. Therefore, f of negative 1 is equal to 3. And for our last example, following or by using this piecewise function, x squared minus 2x if x is less than negative 5, negative x squared minus 3x if x is greater than or equal to negative 5 but less than 3, and 6 minus 2x plus x cubed if x is greater than or equal to 3. So in this case, hindi mo siya isa-substitute sa tatlong ito. What you need to do is identify saang domain dito or saang interval dito sa tatlong to papasok yung assigned value of x. So for example, in this case, negative 1/2. You'll check si negative 1/2 ba ay less than negative 5? Hindi. Is negative 1/2 greater than or equal to 3? Also no, kasi siya ay negative number. Is negative 1/2 greater than or equal to negative 5 but less than 3? Yes, nasa pagitan siya ng interval na ito. Therefore, what you need to use is this function, negative x squared minus 3x. If you are having a hard time identifying by using symbols only, what you can do is you can make a number line with these intervals. So let's say here, so you'll have here negative 5 and then here is 3. The first interval is so for the first interval, x less than negative 5, dito mo makikita yung mga values na yun. So from here to the left of negative 5. And for x greater than or equal to 3, ito yung mga values na yun. From 3, including 3, and to the right of 3. Lahat ng mas malaking value sa 3. And for the second function, all the values of x in between negative 5, including negative 5 up to 3. Okay? So, si negative 1/2, makikita mo yan somewhere dito sa pagitan nila. And with that said, we'll be using the second function to evaluate f of x at x is equal to negative 1/2. So, f of x is equal to negative x squared minus 3x. Now again, we need to substitute or we need to replace all the x in your function or your identified function. So we have here f of negative 1/2 is equal to negative negative 1/2 squared minus 3 times negative 1/2. Okay. Then we simplify. Again, unahin natin itong may exponent. Negative 1/2 squared is negative 1/2 times negative 1/2, which is 1/4. So, saan nanggaling yun? We have negative 1/2 times negative 1/2. So, we simply multiply the numerator by the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. And since parehas naman silang negative, naging positive yung sagot natin na 1/4. And then, a negative times negative should be positive. Negative 3 times 1/2 is positive 3/2. Now, we have here a fraction na kailangan nating i-simplify. When simplifying fraction, we need to find the LCD or the least common denominator. So, anong number ang divisible by 4 and by 2, or pinakamaliit na number na divisible by 4 and 2. So, that is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1 times 1, or times negative 1 is negative 1. Plus 4 divided by 2 is 2 times 3 is 6. So we simplify. Negative 1 plus 6 is 5/4. So that is your f times negative 1/2. Now for the second value, we have x is equal to 3. Again, identify mo saan siya kasama. Now, as you can see here, dito tayo may dalawang 3. This is either x less than 3, and for this one is x greater than or equal to 3. And since ang given natin ay 3, dito siya papasok since dito included yung 3 sa domain. So, we will be using 6 minus 2x plus x cubed. So, f of x is equal to 6 minus 2x plus x cubed. Again, to simplify, palitan mo yung x with the assigned value, or 3. So, we'll have f of 3 is equal to 6 minus 2 times 3 plus 3 cubed. And then simplify. So, bring down mo muna si 6. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. So, minus 6. And then plus 3 cubed. So, ibig sabihin nito, tatlong beses mong i-multiply si 3 sa sarili niya. So, that is 3 times 3 times 3. So, eto yon. So, 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. So, plus 27. 6 minus 6 is 0, plus 27 is equal to 27. So, that is f of